What if I tell you that most people die at the age of 25, but they are not buried until later on in life? Because they never found a strong reason worth waking up for. See, finding your why is not about motivation. It's about truly living. Today, we are going to embark on a powerful journey where we are going to unlock the ultimate source of energy. That's finding your why. A lot of us believe that our dreams are out of reach. But the reality is that the distance between your dreams and reality is between your ears. And that's your mind. It's not about luck. It's about clarity. The mind will follow where the why will lead. Let me say that again. The mind will follow where the why will lead. Our lives are the result of the actions we are taking daily. If you want to change your life, you got to change and redefine your life by the actions you're taking. And it all starts by being authentic, being memorable, and being epic. There is a beautiful quote that says, "The biggest adventure you can ever take is to live the life of your dreams." And let me tell you, it all begins on the other side of fear. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to be hanging on the side of a plane and jumping out of it. Or you don't need to be flying helicopters. But there is one thing that it all have in common, which is whenever you have choices in front of you, choose what you are afraid of. That is going to open a path of doubt, uncertainty, failure, discomfort. Doesn't sound fun. But it will ultimately lead to the most beautiful thing, growth, opportunities, and really that next version of yourself. There is a Japanese term called misogi, which is a challenge that pushes you beyond your limits, that faces all your fears, but that is going to have such a strong impact in your life, that is going to transform you inside out. Today, I'm going to share a story with you that transformed my life, and I hope that it will transform yours as well. How many of you here know somebody that have been dealing with depression? Most of us in this room. I've also met multiple people that have suffered with depression, and some really close to my life that are no longer here with us. And these are individuals that seem to have it all, and yet they were carrying that weight, that invisible weight that led them to commit suicide. I had this fire inside that was telling me I have to do something about it. How is it possible that there is people out there suffering in silence? And that's why I signed up for the toughest foot race in the world, the Marathon de Sables. 6 marathons in 6 days across the Sahara Desert. And you gotta carry all your food and supplies with you. I had no prior experience, and yet I chose to do that. And let me tell you, the most difficult thing in life is not to face your failures, is to have a success without meaning. And that's why I decided to put a weight on my back that represented the weight of depression, raise this campaign where hundreds of people shared their names and their stories so that I could carry that weight that they were carrying inside across the Sahara Desert and buried at the end of the race to leave all those struggles behind. When you sign up for a race like this, there is going to be a lot of different difficulties that you're going to be encountering. When I arrived to the Sahara Desert, first thing I realized is that it was really hot. Second thing I've noticed is that some of the legends of the sport that I was following on social media, they were right there. And I started to compare myself with them. Oh my God, they are so good. Who am I to even be here? Comparison is the thief of joy. And if I'm going to compare myself to anybody, that better be me. And this is something that happens to all of us in any area of life. We start comparing ourselves. And that takes away the joy of being present in that moment. So I started to dig in again on my why and on being grateful that I had the opportunity to be there with so many people counting on me. When the race started, something that Mike Tyson said, everybody thinks they're ready until they get punched in the face. In the running community, thankfully, there is no punches in the face. But I got punched by sandstorms, by 130-degree Fahrenheit, by climbing sand dunes that were burning my hands and feet, by the weight that I was carrying. And I knew it was going to be a really long race. On that second day, one of those same individuals that I put in that pedestal, that I was comparing myself to, he was on the floor, grabbing his satellite phone because he was dropping out of the race. And I started to have those doubts again. So many people are dropping out of the race already, including this guy. Who am I? I started to tap on my shoulders. I saw I had blood on my hands. I started to pee blood because I was having a kidney failure because of dehydration. Every step, I felt the skin on the bottom of my feet moving completely as my feet were completely melting. And I said, nah, this is not for me. I grabbed my backpack, I dropped it on the ground, and as I was reaching for that satellite phone, I saw it right there. The weight of depression. And all the names of the people that were counting on me started to come up on my head. Stefania, Fernando, Patricia, Pedro, all those people with all their stories, they started to come back. Because sometimes the ultimate purpose, that why, will click when you are in pain. So seek it. Don't avoid it. I grabbed that backpack on and I kept on going. I finished that marathon and I went straight to the emergency tent where 2 nurses were waiting. When they were looking at my feet, when they were looking at my entire condition, they said, son, you're not good. You cannot continue. And they pointed right on the side where a big plastic bag with a body inside. And they said, you don't want to finish like that. There's no shame of dropping out of the race. Hundreds of people have done it already. And those are the external voices, the voices that we hear on a daily basis. Don't do it. It's too difficult. Don't do it. You're going to get hurt. Oh, it's too much. But once you lock in into your why, you become unstoppable. And I said, I appreciate it, but I'm going to continue. And I just want to show you what the conditions look like. Sandstorms waiting at the end of every single marathon. Managing to use a compass at night to try to figure out where I had to go. Feet completely destroyed. And still 4 marathons to go. The reason I show this to you is because at that moment, 4 marathons felt like an eternity, felt something impossible. And this is what happens to us. When we are trying to go towards our wildest dreams, they seem so far out, especially as things get difficult. So the idea here was to break it down into small, tangible things. In this case, one step at a time. And in each step, I was bringing back the stories, the names of all the people that were counting on me. Each step turned into each mile into each marathon. And the body was getting weaker, but the mind was getting stronger. On that last marathon, I no longer believed that I was capable of finishing. I believed that I could win that race. Because the mind kept elevating. And because when you lock into your why, you become unstoppable. And it was on that last day that the miracle happened. It was right there, where every single step was worth taking. Where that promise of carrying all those names and all those struggles took place. And as I set out to do, bury that weight right in the Sahara Desert, leaving all those struggles behind. Now, I'll tell you this because sometimes you will be able to overcome anyhow if you have a strong enough why. I had my why, and that person that had no prior experience not only was able to leave the Sahara Desert having a strong impact in so many people's lives, but I was also transformed inside out. And from there on, I was able to complete multiple Ironman races, including the World Championship, double distance Ironman races, winning and breaking records at 100-mile races, climbing some of the tallest mountains in the world, completing 7 marathons in 7 days in 7 continents, and now more recently, finishing the Race Across America solo, the world's toughest bicycle race, 3,000 miles coast to coast with over 150,000 feet of elevation in under 12 days. And to be exact, I was able to finish it in 11 days and 23 hours. And you know why? Without prior cycling experience, I was able to complete that race because my father was in the hospital fighting for his life, battling with cancer, going through chemo. And we made a promise to each other. If I didn't quit on the race, he wouldn't quit on his life. This is not a story for motivation. This is a story about truly living. And it applies to every single area of your life. What you see right here is the wheel of life. It represents not just sports, but everything else you do in life. Your career, your relationships, spirituality, finances. This is your compass for life. And your why is the engine that will move you forward. So let me ask you this. Who's ready to level up? No, again, who's ready to level up? Again, who's ready to level up? So those out there that are ready to level up, it all starts with your why. Why do you want to level up? Why do you want to accomplish those goals? Ask yourself that question. And don't stop in there. Ask yourself again and again and again. Go so deep that you'll start getting goosebumps. Because when you find your why, you'll unlock the ultimate power to accomplish and to live the life of your dreams. Thank you very much.